wait for this to, maybe not, I guess. Let's go. Frigadag. Hop out for chat. There it is. There it is. Okay. Don't stop. There we go. Restore chat. Pop out chat. Expand chat. Hello chat. Hey everyone, how's it going? I still got 2, 4, 6, 8 apples, but there's this and then maybe another one of these and I'm done. So let's get the wires out of the way here. Okay, Celeste. And then I'm going to have a shower. This, I'm sorry folks, until I'm done harvesting, these are the live streams. Regular live streams will probably start next week or the week after, like in the office. But right now I'm still working, so. And Howie says there may be more carrots later this week. If there is, I'm going to get him to get me another bag. Because I want to have garlic carrots for supper with our pork chops. And I don't want to have to open a jar that I've worked so hard to just get in my pantry, right? Hi, my crooked little homestead, Angela M. Tina Elliott. It's got to be Kaden. Celeste, Kathy, Angela. So, I guess I'm going to break down and use a jar of carrots for supper. I'll make air fried potatoes because we got them, so we might as well make them. Like they're cut up in the fridge. Practically Creative, welcome back. I got the fire going. I just put another log on. Howie's not allowed to touch it. Unless I ask him to put one stick on. Not a log. Or not a lot. He has a tendency to stoke it up, you know. But I actually have my bedroom curtain open. Can't see it. Down the hall. My bedroom curtain open. The quilt curtain is open to let heat in my room. And that's rare. But I want it kind of warm in here for after my shower. Of course you can call me Bev. Everybody calls me Bev. I get called Bev, Mom, Auntie, Mrs. V, Sis. You know, just don't call me anything negative. That's all.
Late for dinner.
Or late for dinner. I make dinner. How can I be late for dinner? That's why we don't call Howie late for dinner. He's over there munching on green tomato bread because suppers, our times have changed to Eastern Standard Time now. And so he's like hungry as a bear at 3 o'clock for, it's only 1:45, for supper. So it's like, you've had a meatloaf sandwich, have some green tomato bread, and be done. Hey, Kay! Ended up with over 40 quarts of applesauce from that tree and gave about 30 pounds to a church. Good girl. I still got applesauce from years ago. I'm going to actually empty out those jars and wash them because we don't really use it. We don't use it. So, I mean, I could make applesauce cakes, but I've got bananas in my freezer, right? I've got zucchini in my freezer and on my shelves. And Christmas and holiday baking is coming. You know what we didn't get? Cranberries. Hey, Diane. Welcome back. Melissa. Thank you. I'll have to remember that. Practically Creative Melissa. Practically Creative Melissa. Melissa, you're practically creative. You tell yourself things like that 3 times and it works really well. So like I say, Minnesota farmer's wife Julie, because it took me a long time to remember her name, right? It takes me longer because there's a lot more of you than there is of me, right? I was just explaining to Howie after we have our, we are urging customers, I don't know, something from Hydro One. Saturday next week is the racing banquet, dear. It's Remembrance Day in the morning and then racing banquet in the evening next Saturday. Make applesauce bread. I'm just saying, I got so much stuff. Well, I might. If I'm going to open it, if it's still good, maybe I'll just make a whack of applesauce bread. But Howie won't eat it if I put raisins in it. Well, somebody gave me an idea of chopping the raisins really fine, dear, so that you don't get a raisin in a bite, so to speak. What do you think? I know it's a texture thing with you. I know you prefer nuts, but I have raisins, and nuts are much more expensive. So the nuts are pretty much being saved mostly for Christmas. But if you're really lucky, I will make you some booger tarts next week. Because we got pecans, and I'm craving tarts. Huh?
You make half with raisins and half with nuts.
Yes, I could. I could make half with raisins, or half with nuts and half with nuts and raisins. We got the eggs. We got the butter. We got the lard. We got the flour. Yeah. Who votes for butter tarts next week? Folks. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Trudy. Christian Burleson. Am I missing anybody? Hi, Sharon. Also got 10 pounds of sweet potatoes at the auction along with 30 pounds of tomatoes. Good show. What auction is that? I've never heard of a produce auction before. So you literally don't have to shop all winter after all this prepping. No, we still shop, but it's next to nothing. It's on paydays. It's like, if I haven't made bread or I don't have time to make bread, I'll get Howie to pick up some bread. I'll get him to pick up some milk. And when we run out of eggs, bananas, that kind of thing. But really, fruits, vegetables, and meat, well, suppers, vegetables, and meat, we don't have to shop for. You'll see my pantry. I'll put it on our half-acre homestead once I'm done. Because I still have, ask Aaron when the cut sheets are coming, dear. Because I still have a side of beef and a pig coming. Now, the pig may be a bit small this year, so we may not get so lucky. But being as it's paid for, I'm not gonna worry about it, right? So we'll have, and I'll probably buy some. I've still got a chicken and turkey to can, and I'll probably buy some chicken legs at some point when they go on sale in the next few paydays. I'll buy some chicken legs, and then I'll bag them up and freeze them. Because we like our chicken and rice, don't we, dear? Yep. I got enough canned ugly chicken. If I had sour cream, I'd make chicken perka. Hi from Michigan. Hi, Martina. How are you? We used to go to something similar when we lived in Delaware. Pick up our smoked bacon and sausage. Her and my son-in-law are our butcher. Wow. See, when you're not doing it yourself, you have to deal with what the butcher does. And this butcher doesn't do sausages, and he only does ham and bacon and pepperettes. And I don't want pepperettes. I know Howie might like pepperettes, but he's not getting them. Maybe. We'll see. Because if they're a small peg, I want my chops, I want my ground, I want my ham, I want my bacon. I mean, those are the things we eat. Pepperettes are a snack, right? Can you dehydrate sour cream? Sour cream? No, not that I'm aware of. Some people do, but it's a dairy product, so I don't know. I don't know. Has anybody else tried to dehydrate sour cream? I got my dad's thermals and a winter jacket and gloves and everything for winter as well. Well, I am getting ready not to go out for the rest of winter. Oh, you got to go outside. Well, I do, right? I go outside and I stand on the porch and I go, hurry up, Gracie, go pee. And then, no, I wasn't talking to you, darling. I was making a point. And then we get back inside and I'm hoping to do some knitting soon. And, oh my gosh. I hate grabbing an apple and sticking my thumb into it because they're so soft. But Howie just needs to know that there's no more treats coming until the green applesauce or the green tomato bread is used up. Is that the last of it there in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay. He's happy about that because he's thinking tarts, pecans. That's more of a holiday thing, but I mean, we deserve a treat after all the work we've been putting in, eh, dear? Deserve a treat. You deserve a treat today with Mrs. Wolfie. I know I can buy it, but I wondered if I could dehydrate it myself. I'm just scared to. You know someone who does that, and how does it turn out? I don't do dairy products. I don't dehydrate. I tried dehydrating cheese, and it's a long process, and you have to soak up all the fat. And then when you pack it in jars, if it's not completely dry and free of fat, it gets you get streaks of mold through it. So I haven't done it since. Pecan pie bars. Oh, Julie, email me that recipe. We when I bake bread, we eat a lot of things like pecan pie bread pudding, apple pie bread pudding, pumpkin pie bread pudding, and it's fast. It's faster than pies, actually. So I have a slab of homemade bread in the freezer about that big for the next pudding, a bread pudding. Thank you, honey. I'd love that recipe. Keep pecan pie bars. That sounds delicious, doesn't it, dear? It'd be something he could take in his lunch, which would be easier than tarts. So you might get pecan pie bars instead. Oh, periods, mummies, and tombs, dear? Howie loves anything to do with Egypt. Periods, mummies, and tombs. He's like my dad that way. My dad used to watch all kinds of National Geographic kind of stuff. Jacques Cousteau's Oceans Away, or whatever the hell it was called. My dad, how he watches news and documentaries like my dad. I tell you, I married a man so very much like my father, it's not funny, eh, dear? But at least I had a good model to pick from, right? Does Howie like the Ancient Alien series? Do you like the Ancient Alien series, dear? Sometimes. That's all gonna come out soon. What, you ask? I ain't saying. Oh, because only the people who are awake are going to recognize it anyway, what's going on. People seem to think that when crap hits the fan, that it's going to be this huge global meltdown of chaos. I got news for you, folks. Crap hit the fan a few years back. Closer to 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Hey, Willows, how are you? I worked really hard on dessert for today. Cool Whip in a graham cracker crust. Good job. Good job.
Needs chocolate pudding in the middle.
Well, that's probably what she did. Cool Whip and chocolate pudding. You make instant chocolate pudding and then you mix it with, you make whipped cream and then you mix it. And then you put that in a pie shell and put some chocolate shavings on top. Oh, that's better than a McCain. I can't eat McCain's frozen chocolate cakes anymore. They're too they're too greasy and sweet. It's like we've gotten so used to doing less sugar in everything. Well, yeah, Cool Whip and pudding. There you go, right? I'm glad. I'm good. How are you, Willows? Oh, Bev, did you hear? The Bank of Canada said we are in a technical recession. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. It's going to mean whatever they want it to mean. Right?
It means we're in a recession.
It means we're in a recession because of just inflation turdo. I didn't say his name. But the thing is, if we get another bag of carrots or if potatoes go on sale, this now is the MO, folks. I'm not going to stop if stuff goes on sale. There is no end of harvest season because then we just start getting stuff on sale and getting that in the freezer. But I'll tell you, my little pantry freezer is chock-a-block full, almost chock-a-block full of peppers, zucchini, and now onions. I still got to finish the onions. I'll be doing them tomorrow because I got to finish. It's a video, right? I didn't realize that Justin Trudeau went to high school with Matthew Perry. Yeah, Matthew Perry used to kick the shit out of him. Matthew Perry was a bully. And Trudeau was a weenie. Isn't that the story, dear? Matthew Perry used to bully Trudeau in school?
Supposedly beat him up.
Supposedly beat him up a couple of times. I don't know. I know, forget it. Yeah, then all of a sudden the pot is boiling. Exactly, Kadeen. Exactly. But guess what? Do you want to peek? No, I'm not going to. You want to peek at my pantry? Let me finish this apple. It's not done because I have, when the pork and the beef come in, I have to can a lot of the ground meat because it won't last that long in the freeze, as long as it takes us to use it. I'll can half of the ground meat and I'll leave most. But the thing is whenever, you know, these packages of hamburger, as if we don't see what's going on. Exactly, Tina. We have councils going bankrupt. I mean like councils that, you know, provide housing and stuff? Hey, Melinda! I forgot what I was saying. Let's go have a peek. It's a mess. It's not completely organized yet. I've got to can half the... They give me the hamburger and I say 1 pound packages, but they're closer to 1.5 pounds. So when I pull one out, I got to make a big something. I got to make several meatloaves and put one in the freezer. You know what I mean? So I want to can it because one of those packages of hamburger will do 2 to 3 pints. If I had half pint jelly jars, it would be perfect. So, let's go have a peek. Oh. I'm going to cover this over so you don't get seasick with me walking. Oh, my knees. Oh, my knees. Here we go. It's like I said, it's a bit of a mess right now. But look, guys. This is last year's. And this is the apple pie filling. There's my cabbage. Oh, and I tell you something. This cabbage and tomato stuff, you put ground beef in the bottom of your, cooked ground beef in the bottom of your crock pot. Add frozen peppers, frozen onions, and frozen onions, a half a cup of rice, and 2 cups of dehydrated shredded cabbage. Then you pour this over top. So it's more veg, less rice, and it actually tastes better. So, see, I still got pickles. This is celery from last year. Whoops, you're looking up my nose. I'm sorry. There's, ouch, frig. There's a box of jars I just walked into. There's the carrots. They go back 5 jars. And there's more carrots. And they go back 5 jars. And there's my potatoes. And there's my garden medley vegetables. And this is my garden gleanings with the carrots in it. And see, this is the applesauce. Look, this applesauce is from 2020. So I don't know. It's brown. I don't know, but it's still sealed. And this is wild apple jelly. I'm going to get some of this stuff out of here. Here's my relishes. And here's my zucchini. And this is the starting of the meat and the broth. There's all my pumpkin. So yeah, let me give you a bird's up. Well, let's do it from the other end. Well, I got to show you. I've still got 2 bags of flour. There's 50 pounds of flour. There's sugar, oatmeal, pecans, carrots, rice, dehydrated potatoes. Look at the difference. This was the London Sunshine and this was the Nesco. And look at the difference in color. So, yeah, there's the bird's eye view of my work this year. And here is pasta. When I open pasta, I just throw the rest of the bag in here. I got 3 bottles of Dawn, 2.5 bottles of Dawn, Cheerios, Tetley, coffee, molasses, jar lids, baking powder, green tea, which I don't usually drink that much of. There is my 1, 2, 3 cases. There's what's left of 1 case of those things. Mushrooms, syrup, mushroom soup, my stash of 4 jars of peanut butter, and, you know, there's my oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, spray oil, ketchup, honey, salt, there's spices, baking powder. Oh, I'll show you too. I'm not finished the onions yet, but look, this is my pantry freezer. Look, it's loaded all the way to the bottom with zucchini, peppers, and onions. And once we get our beef and pork, I will do a video. Oh yeah, here's my extra stuff. Brita filters. That tin holds all my bar soap. Emergency candles, muscle relaxers, anti-nauseants, Mucinex, light bulbs, all that stuff. All that stuff. Paper products, all that wonderful stuff. I can't see the chat, so let's go back so I can get some apples done. And if I get another bag of carrots, oh my goodness, Howie, manners. If I get another bag of carrots, I'm going to be dehydrating a lot. I'm going to be dehydrating half the bag and then canning the rest. Yeah, Howie built that pantry just for me, didn't you, baby? We were going to have a 24 by 16 living room. And I said, that's really, really big. And he said, how about I put a pantry at this end? And I go, okay. That's what sold me on it. So that's my pantry. And I have 2 freezers in the porch, a small freezer that has 2 50-pound, 45-pound bags of flour in it. And I have some homemade sausage meat in there. And I got stuff in this little freezer too, so. Hey, Leanne! Yeah, he built me that pantry. The ones with the shelves that were store-bought are from IKEA, but the ones with all my home canning on it, those he built me. And they're groaning. They're groaning, thank you God, amen. That applesauce should be just fine. Well, maybe I'll make some applesauce bread this week and use it up. It's sealed, so much hard work. Yep. And we're not done, are we? We're not done. Whoops. We didn't get you bananas for your lunch. You're going to have to take an apple with your treats, dear. Is there enough green tomato bread left for your lunch tomorrow?
There's a full loaf.
There's a whole loaf? Okay. That'll do you this week then. Yes, absolutely. Christina, you know how I do it? I remember that if I stop, I will seize up. If I stop, I will go to bed for the rest of my life. And that's just not an option, is it, honey? So, because if I stop, I will seize up. So, I just worked at things one day. I swept before I got up, before I started again, but I'm going to have to sweep again. I start every day living in one day. This is what I need to do today. And then I'm not worried about the shit I got to get done tomorrow or what I didn't get or did get done yesterday. I keep it in the day. Because any man or woman can fight the battles of just one day. It's when we add all the anxiety and guilt and stuff from yesterday, and we add those, they're two eternities, yesterday and tomorrow. They are beyond our control, right? Absolutely beyond our control. So if you got one foot in yesterday and one foot in tomorrow, you're pissing all over the moment. I live to the best of my ability in each day. Yes, I look forward to the future and I plan things, but I don't put those plans on my own shoulders any more than one day, right? This is what I can accomplish today. So, I love canning carrots. I can them with just water. That way I can use them for sweet baking. Yes, I can mine in chunks with just water too. And I like to dump the water out and then melt some butter and some garlic powder in a pot and get it really hot, almost brown, smoking hot almost. And then drop the drained carrots in and go shh, and stir them in that sizzling butter and add a little bit of parsley, and oh my God, that's what we're having tonight. Garlic carrots and oven and air fried potatoes. Thank you, Thursday. How's it going, Throwback? My husband is proud of my hard work, and I'm proud of his, because we're a team. We're a team. That's, you know, it's the only way we can get things done, right? My partner has to clean the porch out soon. Because it's getting hard to move in there. It is delicious. It's why I can carrots in chunks. It's one of our favorite. We could eat that 3 days a week. 3 days a week, easy. We could eat garlic carrots, eh, dear? So I hope I get another bag of carrots because I only got 63 jars. It'll be 62 after today. I only got 63 jars, and I want. I'd like to be able to have at least 2 jars a week. So that is 104 jars. So I need like 40 more jars. But I also have to dehydrate carrots too, because you know what season it is. It's soup season. I'm going to try and make some noodles soon too. Like a big whack of noodles. And put them in a jar in the pantry for soup days so I don't have to make them fresh. In case I'm out of eggs that day. I got to order some more egg powder too from Amazon. It's not freeze-dried egg powder. It's whole egg powder. They spray it on a drum and dehydrate it that way. So once it's open, it has to go in the fridge. Well, thank you, Christina. That's right. You got to make the best of every day. Every day. And I plan on filling up this dehydrator with apples. And if I still have any left after that, well, I was going to chop apples and dice them for dehydrating, but they're too soft to do anything with. So slices it'll have to be. And if I want to put bits in a bread or something, I'll just have to chop the apples, dried apples up a bit. Hey, Ange! Did you find those carrots and apples today, Angie? My fire cider is now 25 days old. It has to ferment for 3 months. It's good for healthy gut. Well, I'm going to do that next year. I just don't have time this year. I don't have all the ingredients. So I saw one fire cider that was, Howie will probably hate it. But if it keeps you from getting sick, right? He'll take it. Even if it's a spoonful of nasty. I never went going to pick up a dryer. So you haven't gone yet. Are you going today? Or have you haven't gone for the dryer yet? Alrighty. Howie, watch one or the other, not both. It's annoying as hell to hear your phone talking and hear the TV talking. Remember, I got an auditory processing problem, right? I hear everything at the same volume. A teaspoon of honey helps it go down. I thought you put honey in it. You've inspired me to get into mine in the morning and tidy it up. No, waiting for Chris to get off work. He's not off till 6. Okay. I make an instant fire cider with dried spices, honey, and lemon juice. Really? Oh, thank you for letting me visit. Honey, always. That's what we do. That's why we're here. You remember now. Remember, don't open your canner too soon. You got to be able to touch the sides comfortably. Because if you open it or take the pressure off too fast while it's hot, like jiggling the weight or pulling off the weight, your jars can siphon off liquid. So please follow all the safety steps and the protocols for canning. But practically creative, I've got a feeling you know what you're doing. Oh my God, Bev, does that to me always telling him one or the other? That's you. Yeah, I know. He's just waiting for me to be done so we can have dinner and hang out together, aren't you, dear? Pretty much. I got to get these apples done, and then I'm going to get supper started and have a shower. I don't care that it's going to be a 4 o'clock supper or a 4:30 supper. We're easing our way into the time change. Hey! Hey, Willows. Bye, KB. Are you leaving, KB? Hi, KB. How's it going? What's for supper? Pork chops, garlic, carrots, and air-fried seasoned potatoes. Because I got a bunch of potatoes in the fridge in water, and I just might leave them there all week and just use them up. Hey, dear? The potatoes in the water in the fridge, I could just leave them in there and use them this week. throughout the week. So I don't have to can them. Oh, you don't belong there. I have an idea, a little idea. I'm 57, been canning since I was a kid too. There you go. I don't like this time change. It gets dark too early. No, not here. The day is longer because the day starts earlier here. So that's what I had to explain to Howie. Spring forward, fall back. The clocks go back. So it'll be black when he gets up in the morning, but it'll still be fairly light when he gets home from work. And then the days start to shorten until winter.
And then it's black when I go to work. And it's
Black when you come home. I'll have to get you some vitamin D3 dear, drops, dear. To help with, I'll have to get us some to help with sunshine. Need lots of vitamin D3. The sunshine vitamin. I wish you were here too. I wish everybody was here helping me peel these mushy apples. I was hoping I'd be able to use the peeler, but it doesn't work and I can't find my chopper, so I'm doing her by hand and I'm sure I'm going to feel this tomorrow. Tomorrow, if I live stream, I'll be finishing the onions. I still got about 8 pounds of onions to go. The Price is Right keeps giving trips to Canada. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Who the hell wants to come here? Well, actually, no, that's not fair. We live in a beautiful country. And as much as I bitch about Quebec's odd ways, I love my province too. I love this province, eh, dear? You know, politically, not so much. But we've lived, this is the longest either one of us have ever lived in one place. Did you realize that, dear? How old were you guys when you moved to Fraserville? 14, 15? And I was 12 when we left Toronto and 19 when I left Apsley. And we lived in Colborne for about 97 to 2001. So that was like 4 years. No, 95. 95 to we got sober in 97. So we lived in Colborne from 95 to 2001. And we've lived here since 2007. So it's like, I don't know, 16 years or something. Hey, Grandpa Paul, how's it going? D3 plus K2. I got to start taking my magnesium. I had a foot cramp in my armchair last night. Howie had to rub my foot. I meant, like, get your thumbs right into the balls of my feet. He said, they're dirty. I said, I don't care. But it doesn't happen to me at night now because I have a bar of soap. I bought a bunch of soap last year from Raff for Christmas gifts, and I bought one just because I love the smell of it. It's pipe tobacco, and it makes me think of when I was a kid. Uncle Jim and sometimes Uncle Joe and sometimes Uncle Bill, you know, would puff, but mostly Angie's grandfather, my Uncle Jim. And it makes me I have fond memories of my Uncle Jim. If he had survived my father, like if my dad had passed away before I got married, my Uncle Jim would have walked me down the aisle, but Uncle Jim passed first. And then Dad made it to my wedding, thank God. But I keep that in the bottom of under the sheet in the bottom of my bed to keep my legs and feet from cramping up at night. Blackstrap molasses for iron. I eat a lot of eggs. Eggs are good for iron too. Well, I don't eat a lot of eggs. I eat about 6 a week. Like twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll have 2 boiled eggs and toast. And I have molasses. I don't know if it's but it's fancy molasses though. Oi. That apple's no good. Beef stew now on the stove. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I'm gonna can some beef stew meat too. That's right. I'm not just getting roasts. I'm not getting steaks. Because we end up... Yeah, but honey, when I ask for steaks, I don't get a couple nice ones. He just butchers everything he cuts up everything that resembles a steak. Right? And then when I ask for like one or two roasts, I get like 4 of them. So it's like, I'll ask for just T-bones, maybe. And I want the oxtail this year. I didn't get the oxtail last year. I was pissed about that. I got the tongue, which I asked not for. Didn't ask for. Asked not to get. Huh? And he lost my beef heart, too. Beef heart and liver. Beef heart makes the best stew. Beef heart makes the best stew. But I like canning some stew meats so that so I make a stew really quick. I just open a jar of carrots, pour off the liquid, and slice them up. Throw in some frozen onions. Throw in a jar of canned potatoes. And then I pour the juice off the jar of beef, make a gravy, dump the beef in, and then pour the gravy over top. And it's ready in like 20 minutes. Well, okay, 40 minutes. You put it in the crock pot. I got a quart of molasses last night at the auction for $2. What are we talking about? There's that auction again. I missed that. What kind of auction is it? Is it like big free, everything froze so the farmers markets put out an auction? I don't know how that would work. I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. I just ate supper and had a grilled chicken breast with sauteed mushrooms, bacon, and melted cheese on top with Brussels sprouts. And baked potato. Yeah, I thought of making a baked potato until I found all the potatoes had, well, not all of them, but a bunch of them had bad spots right down the center of them. You couldn't see it from the outside. But the beef feet has a lot of marrow and tastes yummy. Well, calf's foot jelly, that's where they used to make gelatin from, eh? Like I watched this thing on cooking in the 1700s and how they would, gelatin products were a big deal. Why? Because they were so much work. It's not like you can today where you can buy gelatin packets, right? You had to make it, and the best way to make it was from calf's feet, clean calf's feet. And then you cook them, and you cook them, and you cook them. And then you strain it, and then you let it gel, and then you cook it again, and you strain it, and you let it gel. And you add water, and you let it gel, and then you know what I mean? You clean it. It's very, very clean. And then you flavor it however you like. There are Amish communities in Canada or just in the States. I'm sure there are. Isn't there one down around Napanee or Tweed, dear?
No.
Amish communities?
Yeah, sort of. Upper New York area.
No, I mean down around Tweed. We went through one once, so they had carriages and yeah.
Eldorado.
Yeah, but I mean it's far away from us. It's probably 2.5 hours away from us, easy. Right? So it's not necessarily cost effective unless I know there's going to be a market and I know what's available and we go down with the truck. And then you think I was bad with carrots. I like boiling hearts. Add sliced raw onions, slices of salt, pepper, add vinegar, and let it sit in the fridge or stove a day. My mom used to make head cheese out of pig's heads. I won't do it anymore. I've done it. Howie won't eat it. It's really good. but it's kind of like sauce, only without like the vinegar in it. And this, it's basically just boiled pig's head. You clean it, you scrub everything out, you boil it, and then you strain it, and you chill it. You scoop off all the fat, and then you go through, like, you strain the fat off the liquor, right? And then you put it in the fridge. You put it in the fridge, and then you chop all the meat really, really fine, or put it through a grinder. And you add onion, sautéed onions and all that, and garlic and all that stuff. And then you put it in. You cook it back in the gel, and then you pour it in molds. And you slice it. Head cheese, yeah. Do I have a recipe for cooked apples for pie? What do you mean cooked apples? You mean my dehydrated apples? Hey, Mary Jane Will, how's it going? I have, look up on my channel, Google Our Half Acre Homestead Pantry Stock Apple Pie. It will take you right to the video. Well, yeah, I have an apple pie. I made, I have fresh apple pie. I used Granny Smith apples for that. I made it for a barbecue quite a few years ago because it was at Dee Dee and Kevin's, so that was a long time ago. But yeah, I have that. I have a lemon meringue pie. Just go Our Half Acre Homestead Apple Pie, and it'll bring up every apple pie I've ever made. No, she means fresh. She said fresh. So, beef head and pig's head. Really? I don't have the muscles to do a beef head. I really don't. And then I get stuck with the tongue again. Lazy day dried apple pie. I want to cook filling to freeze before I lose the apples. Why don't you can the apples? Do you know how to water bath can? You can water bath can apples. You just blanch them and then put them in ice water, and then you make a simple syrup. Like 1 cup of sugar to 2 cups water. 1 cup of sugar to 2 cups water. You boil it. You put a cinnamon stick in it, a piece of ginger if you want, some cloves. Boil that syrup. And then scoop out your spices. You use big spices, not powdered, because they have a tendency to go bitter in the jar over time. And then you pour the syrup over the apples in the jar. You debubble, you wipe your rims, you put your lid on, you water bath can. You don't can. Well, I have never frozen pie filling, but all you have to do is freeze the apples. Cut them up, like I'm doing right now. Well, slightly better than this, but cut them up, peel them and cut them up, right? And blanch them in lemon water, or soak them in lemon water and blanch them. Soak them in lemon water, blanch them, put them in ice water, and then bag them up and freeze them. But if I were you, I would flash freeze them on cookie sheets in the freezer first. And that way you can drop the cookie sheet on the table and they'll all break up and they won't mush together in the freezing process. Okay? And then you just make your simple syrup and to pour over top. Your simple syrup, your cornstarch, your cinnamon, and bit of lemon juice, and you pour it over your pie, and away you go. I don't know what cinnamon's made to make brooms. Cinnamon sticks or cinnamon sticks. But Ceylon cinnamon is better than Saigon cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon's the more healthy cinnamon for diabetes and stuff. Most cinnamon you buy in the stores are Saigon cinnamon. I fry apples in brown sugar and butter and a little cinnamon or apple pie spice and freeze them without any issues. There you go. So I knew somebody else would have the answer. This apple is not coming. They're so slippery because they're getting mushy. That's why I'm doing them today and not onions, because they just gotta be done. Fry apples in brown sugar and butter and a little cinnamon or apple pie spice and freeze it. Okay, there you go. That makes sense. See, I've never done that. I've frozen apples. I used to just blanch them and freeze them in milk bags. And one milk bag will do a whole pie. But I don't have freezer space. I have my big freezer. The turkey and chicken's coming out of that, getting canned, and I'm making broth. And then guess what? The freezer, Howie cleans the freezer and gets it ready for the beef and the pork. That's why I have kind of a method about how I do things throughout harvest season. They say you can make pie and freeze before baking, but I've never tried it. Oh, you can do that. We used to do it at the bakery. You make your pie dough and you line your pie shells and you put your pie tops aside. And you peel your apples, and then you can use apple juice or water, but you take some clear gel or cornstarch, right? Mix it with sugar, water, like let's say a cup of sugar to 2 cups of water or 3 cups of water. And a couple of tablespoons of clear gel, some cinnamon, whatever spices you want, a little bit of nutmeg. Cook that into a gel, a thick gel. Not really thick, but pourable. And then you put all your apples in your pie dishes, and you pour that over top. And then you put your lids on, like let it cool a bit. Pour that over top and let it cool, and then crimp your pie crust and then wrap them and freeze them. I wasn't sure. You got to be really specific with questions, because when I see them, I get confused if I don't see the entire question, right? Are we still getting elk? I don't know. It depends on whether Howie gets a deer. If we get a deer when he goes hunting, then we probably won't get an elk. We won't need one, eh, dear? So, and that would be a very expensive elk, because it's $1,000 for the elk, and then like $250 in gas to go get it, and we still have to butcher it ourselves when we're done, you know, dispatching it and skinning it and gutting it there and then bringing it home. We'd still have to let it hang and butcher it, right? So that's a very expensive and a lot of work. So we'll see. Hopefully Howie will get a deer and he'll hang it in the shop away from animals, and then we butcher after 14 days, eh, dear? It's cold enough, that's for sure. We don't have our hanging box anymore. It finally died. But we made a fridge box for hanging pigs and stuff in one year. You should look that up. We bought a new fridge, so we used the old one. And Howie just took the door off, built a box with the door opens this way, and then took the door off the fridge and left the side of the box open, pushed the fridge up against it, and then closed it, sealed it in. So when you open the box, there's the refrigerator pouring it into the insulated box. And you could hang 2 pigs in that thing. Remember, dear? Pig and a deer.
Kept the animal at 40 degrees nicely.
Kept it at 40 degrees nicely. I canned 7 quarts of apple pie filling with apples from my tree this year. Good girl. Or, you know, I hope I'm not assuming. Yes, you can dehydrate sour cream. Oh, wow.
Why would you do that?
Because how often does it go bad in our fridge before we use it?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
How do you bring it back to life?
Hot water and a fork. So the next time sour cream's on sale, you're going to get me about 8 tubs. Yep, because then you can, once it's powdered, I can add that into friggin' pancakes and.
Oh, you powder it.
Yeah, you dehydrate it and then you powder it. I need a new KitchenAid coffee grinder, dear. Mine broke last year, and my Ninja personal sized one doesn't do as good a job. Very low temperature or it will turn brown. Well, yeah, it's, you know, it's something you would dehydrate at like 115 degrees, right? Or maybe 120, 25. But I've never advocated for, well, I have, but I no longer advocate for dehydrating dairy products. Designed to make your life a piece of cake. Bull crap. Everything that the commercials say designed to make your life easier makes your life harder because you got to work harder to pay for all them conveniences. Just remember, dehydrate at a very low temperature. What happened to Howie making the video of the stove with cans? It's there.
Of the what?
The little rocket fire stove we made out at the camp.
Okay.
Look up rocket fire, our half-acre homestead rocket fire stove, I think. 5 pounds of dehydrated sour cream. 5 tablespoons of dehydrated sour cream to 3 tablespoons of warm water. Okay. Thank you, Grandpa Paul. I know we used to be able to buy buttermilk powder, and if I ever make it back to Both Barn before the snow really hits, I will I'll just buy some sour cream or buttermilk powder and sour cream powder. Because, you know, there's just 2 of us. And it's not cost effective to buy a small tub. And when we do buy it go more often than not, it goes moldy in the fridge before we use it all. So
Now, if we kept some ranch-style chips on hand and some salsa.
I made salsa one year, and we just be quiet over there. Be decorative. Salsa, ranch-style chips.
You eat them all.
Yes, I would. I would get medicated and wake up in the middle of the night with the munchies. That's why I bought so many Cheerios. All right, we've been here almost an hour, and I'm going to get these on the dehydrator trays. And then I'm going to say goodnight. What is she doing? You want her on you?
She's ignoring me.
Oh, poor daddy. She's laying on his feet, not on top of him. He gets in on the couch with his blanket, and then he gets Gracie to come up and lay on top of him. He gets him warm. All right, let's do this one more time. You over here, but you over here. Don't make the mistake I made the first time. And I'm going to start putting these on the... It's hard to go through a tub of sour cream or buttermilk myself. Be decorative. Oh, no, that's Howie's line. That's usually just I say, oh, shouldn't you be? And he go, just sit there and be decorative. So it's one of these times I've been able to pull it back on him. So. Oh. I might have to make an apple cake or something tomorrow. Piss on the pecans. I might have to make something with apples. Piss on the Yankees. Piss on the Chiefs. Gary Busey. Silver Bullet. Love that man. Hey, Ninja Clan Kathy, how's it going? Well, thank you. My mom was a beautiful woman. It's hard to believe that I'm 16 years older than she was when she died. She was 43, I'm 59. Everyone says, you look just like your mom. I said, how can you tell? She died so young. I'm so old. Oh! One more tray. Let's get another tray. What? Wait a second, what did I miss about siphoning? Ever had one can to siphon but seal is still good? Yes, absolutely, as long as it's sealed. As long as it's sealed. Thank you for answering that, Kathy, or whoever answered that. Okay. All right. Oh. All right, we're up to 4 trays. This holds 6. I may just get a good... If I get 6 trays, well, I may finish with the Nesco. But I'm getting tired of peeling mushy apples. It's a texture thing for my... It's a texture thing on my hands. So sad Matthew Perry passed away not long ago, supposedly a drowning. In his hot tub, yeah. Do you want to know? Did you miss the conversation earlier, Angie? He used to go to school with Prime Minister Turdo and he used to beat him up. There's Matthew Perry's real claim to fame. Kick the ass of the Canadian Prime Minister. Gotta love it. Turkey chili. Well, I get these apples done. I'm gonna have to take a chicken and stuff out this week. Unless I get more carrots. I'm avoiding doing the chicken and turkey like it's a disease. You know? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 trays. I got one more tray to peel. And then maybe I'll make an upside down apple cake tomorrow or something. Or maybe I'll just make an apple cake with bits of apple in it and apple and brown sugar and butter on top. A little crunchy. Ooh, that sounds good. Make sure these aren't too thick. They gotta have air flowing between the trays. Oh yeah, one more tray to go. One more tray to go. Makes me like Matthew Perry even more. Me too. Me too. You know, I only wish he'd have kicked his ass before he died. Like, just one more time. Just one more time, Perry. Come back as the ghost of bully past. I hope all the ghosts meet Turdo this year. He seems to think Canada is his playground, his toy to do whatever he wants with. And he didn't learn that from his dad. He learned that from his mom and from Klaus Schwab, thinking he could have and do and be whatever he wanted. Well, I got news for you, Trudeau. A lot of people are waking up and realizing they can't be what they want to be because that's not who they were born. So wake up and smell the Tetley there, Turdo. Bird flu. What? You know what? I'm getting tired of all these. Oh, the bird flu. Oh, the swine flu. Oh, this. Oh, that. Meat. It's going to be a problem. Whatever. We'll deal with it as it comes. I actually, though, if Howie gets his stainless steel garage next year, I doubt it's going to happen next year. But I'm going to, as soon as he does, I'm getting laying hens and I'm putting them back in the barn. My barn will be my barn again. I somehow doubt it. It's a nice dream. Hey, dear? It might. You just never know. These have been washed, but they haven't been rubbed. Hey, honey, will you take the stuff out when I'm done here? Will you take all that stuff out to the compost, please? It's starting to make the porch smell. Oh, there's dirt on the bottom of that apple. Mud. Be careful, Bev. Bird flu said your turkey and chicken you're avoiding because of... Oh, no, I'm not avoiding because of a disease. I'm just avoiding because it's a lot of work. And once the apples are done, and if I don't get any more carrots, then I am starting on thawing, deboning, and canning the chicken because it's got freezer burn on the skin. So I'm going to debone it and cut all that part off, throw it in the stock pot with all my, vegetable ends and stuff. You'll see. It'll be a video on our half-acre homestead for sure. I'm just avoiding it because it's a lot of work, that's all. And I'm getting tired. I want to get on to Christmas stuff. Halloween's over, Thanksgiving, but I promise everybody I won't start anything until after Black Friday because most of you folks are American, right? Besides, soon as Black Friday's over, we'll be decorating the tree in the office. Ow! What am I? Hi, Nora. I'm apples. I'm doing apples right now. I've got one more tray to go in the dehydrator, and then I'm done for the day. And I'll be watching the sales this week to see if, well, never mind. It's a long story. Don't want to get into it. But I'll be watching sales for more carrots. 10 pounds for $6.47 at friggin' Costco. Gotta be shitting me. I thought 10 pounds for $4.88 was too much. But if they go on sale again, I will buy another 10 pounds just for dehydrating. That was a quick visit. Have to run. Working on Christmas table runners. All right, darling. Oh, are you going to do a video, Helen? Or send me pictures, okay? Well, I work hard, Denise Hackett, and Howie works hard because if we didn't, nothing would get done. Hey, dear. Might as well, if we don't work, this life has a price tag. This life is living in the country, even though we don't raise animals and stuff anymore. This kind of home preservation life and doing things for yourself and wood burning for heat and all these things, they come at a price tag of very hard work. And that's why we don't do animals anymore. They're just too hard. If I do any more animals again, it'll be laying hens and only laying hens. Why? Because I can make them into soup when they get old. And they provide me with eggs. I'd rather, I'd rather have eggs. And if I could get 10 of them, or even 6 of them, you know what I mean? They would, I would, if I could have them in the garage or the barn, it would be, eggs. All Howie would have to do is keep a path shoveled to the barn every morning so that I can go out and water and feed my birds. Hi, Pen. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a bit. We're getting there. We're getting there. Almost ready for the last sheet. Salam. I missed that. Who's Salam? Did I miss somebody? Aloha. Oh, everyone everywhere, may peace be in the world. Absolutely, Nora. Peace be with you. And everybody who, by nature, mankind is not an angry, violent breed. We are taught that. We are programmed to turn on each other. And that's all I'm saying. And then they keep shaking up our world with crisis, putting us in crisis mode after crisis mode after crisis mode, so that we turn on each other and start arguing amongst ourselves so we don't see what the hell they're doing. Please, folks, be aware that when our world gets shook up, it's not your neighbor who's shaking the jar. Right? With Gracie as a baby, I know my baby girl. She's gray of muzzle and slow of gait now, but she still zooms. Hey, Daddy. Just not as often. We had a pile of sand delivered for something Howie was constructing. I do believe it was the floor of the barn, eh, dear? When she was a pup. And I'm telling you, she ran up and down that hill. I'm queen of the hill. Queen of the dirt pile, you know. And then she'd run down and run up and down the other side. She just thought it was amazing fun. Who needs a slide when you got a sand pile? It made me think of Laura and Mary sliding down the straw stacks. But she wasn't sliding, she was zooming. Ooh, that had a moldy piece in it. So, we're almost at one more tray. Oh, I can be vague, Joe. I can be vague. Just remember, folks, we are designed by nature to be helpful to each other. We are designed by nature to be clannish, to be a clan. I'm not talking Ku Klux Klan. We're designed by nature. We're a social animal. Okay? And what has people turning on each other has got nothing to do with our lives and everything to do with the political state of the world. Right? So, I'm being careful. Yeah, I mean, so anyway, folks, I'm going to get off here. I've got to finish this video, putting the video for, this is a dehydrating video, but it's also a London Sunshine video. And after this video comes out on our half-acre homestead, guys, use the link in the bottom of the description box on any of my my last couple of our half-acre homestead videos. Order a dehydrator if you want one. Order if you want. I'm not asking you to buy. Or an air fryer, and use the coupon code BEV15. All lowercase letters. BEV15. And that will give you 10% off. Okay? This is Mrs. Wolfie from Life with the Wolfies saying, I'm almost done. I'm going to get these on, and then I'm going to go have a shower and make dinner. Because it's Sunday, and I've just about had enough of work for the weekend. You're just starting apples. I'm almost done. All right, folks, take care. God bless. And we'll probably see you tomorrow as I'm chopping onions. Mwah! Love you guys. Remember, go in peace and always walk in the light of God's love. Because only the divine light of love will dispel the darkness that surrounds us on a regular basis. All right? Take care. God bless. You're always in my prayers. Always.